This second, there's a van somewhere in America with 300 packages in the back and a driver who has about 90 seconds per stop. He isn't running late, that's the plan. And that van exists because of a number almost nobody outside the industry has ever actually looked at. Last year, Amazon spent $102 billion on shipping. Not on products, not on ads, just on movement, on the physical act of dragging a box from one place to another. That single line item is bigger than the entire annual revenue of most companies in the Fortune 500. Now here's where it gets strange. That same year, researchers sat down with American shoppers and asked a simple question. What actually matters when you order something online? Speed came in fifth. Behind price, behind reliability, behind just knowing when the thing will show up. 90% said they'd happily wait 2 or 3 days if it meant dodging a shipping fee. So sit with that for a second. The most data-obsessed company in the history of retail is spending $100 billion a year on something its own customers rank 5th. Either the smartest operators alive have lost their minds, or that money was never really about you. It's the second one. And the way it works is one of the most elegant and most ruthless strategies in modern business. To find where it starts, you have to go back to 2005, to a decision everyone remembers as a convenience. It wasn't a convenience, it was a trap, a beautiful one. Before 2005, buying from Amazon meant running a small, irritating calculation every single time. Pay for fast shipping or take the free option. And here's the part people forget. Amazon made the free option slow on purpose. Your order would sit in a warehouse for 3, 4, 5 days while they batched it with other orders to ship it cheap. Total time to your door? 8 days, sometimes 10. Free and slow, or fast and expensive. Pick one. Every time, forever. Then came Prime. $79 a year, unlimited 2-day shipping. And the whole world filed it away as Amazon made shipping fast. No, watch what actually happened. The moment you hand over that $79, the calculation vanishes. There's no shipping cost to weigh, no minimum order to hit, no reason to open a second tab and check whether Target's cheaper. Because while you're busy comparing, the Amazon version is already on a truck. Prime didn't sell speed. Prime sold the deletion of a decision. And deleting a decision, permanently for 100 million people, turns out to be worth an obscene amount of money. Just not for the reason you'd guess. Because fast delivery does not make people happier. That's not the mechanism. It never was. Fast delivery changes what you're willing to buy online at all. Run it against your own life. 20 years ago, books, DVDs, things you could afford to wait for. You would not order a book online if you needed it tomorrow. 2-day shipping added a rung to the ladder. Electronics, cookware, clothes. Same day added another. Batteries, paper towels, dog food, the stuff you used to get in a car. And then it did the thing nobody believed was possible. It added groceries. Real ones. Milk, produce, raw meat, folded into same-day delivery across more than 2,300 American cities and towns. Within months, in those areas, 9 of the 10 best-selling same-day items were perishables. And now, the number that explains everything. Amazon says customers who start adding fresh groceries to those same-day orders shop roughly twice as often as customers who don't. Twice as often. That's the whole game. Every hour you shave off delivery, you're not making one person marginally happier. You're annexing a category that used to belong to a physical store. You stop being a website somebody visits and start being the place they buy everything. And the pressure runs both directions. 43% of online shoppers say they've abandoned a cart or walked away from a store entirely over slow shipping. Shopify found that merchants who could show a fast, reliable delivery date saw conversion climb by as much as 25%. So, speed sells. Speed compounds. Speed eats entire categories of retail alive. Which is why what happened next makes absolutely no sense. Around 2024, the ground moved. In 2022, when McKinsey asked shoppers to rank what mattered in a delivery, speed came first. 2 years later, fifth. What passed it? Cost, transparency, ease of returns, reliability. More than 90% said they'd bail on a purchase over high shipping fees. Roughly half said they wouldn't pay for shipping at any speed. And when researchers forced a choice, fast versus exactly when you promised, reliability won. Not narrowly, decisively. There's a detail buried in that research that sounds like a joke until you've lived it. An early delivery can be a problem. You picked Thursday because you're home Thursday. It lands Tuesday. And now there's a box sitting on your porch for 2 days, in the rain, in a neighborhood with cameras and package thieves. That's not a delightful surprise. That's a broken promise that happened to be fast. And if you want the loudest possible evidence that speed isn't king, look at who actually won the last 5 years. Temu, Shein, 2 of the fastest growing retail platforms on Earth. Standard shipping, 7 days, 14, sometimes 20 weeks. And Americans ordered anyway by the hundreds of millions because the price was a fraction of everything else. And when Temu finally did start building US warehouses and moving faster, it wasn't because shoppers demanded it. It was because a tariff rule changed and the old math stopped working. So line it all up. Customers rank speed 5th. Slow companies are winning on price. And meanwhile, Amazon's shipping bill climbs from $95 billion to $102 billion in a single year. And Walmart is sprinting toward 30-minute delivery. Somebody in that picture is making a catastrophic mistake. Except nobody is, because the weapon was never pointed at the customer. It's pointed at everyone else trying to sell to that customer. And to understand how that works, you need the one part of shipping that breaks every rule in business. Everything before the final few miles is easy. A container ship moves 20,000 boxes at once. A truck moves 1,000. That's consolidation. The more you move, the cheaper each unit gets. That's how logistics has worked for 200 years. The last mile shatters it. The last mile is one van, one driver, one street, one doorstep, and it is savage. That final leg now eats somewhere between 40 and 53% of the entire cost of shipping something, up from around 41% in 2018. Half of that is just labor. A package to a dense city block might cost $10. The same package to a rural driveway, $50. So on paper, going faster should be financial suicide. More trips, emptier vans, tighter windows, money on fire. Except it isn't. And the reason got explained by Walmart's CFO in a single sentence, the most important sentence in this entire story. He said, "Think about delivering a package to 5 houses on a street versus 1 house on a street. That's it. That's the weapon. Because the van costs the same either way. The driver costs the same either way. 1 stop on that street, and you eat the whole cost yourself. 5 stops, you split it 5 ways. 10 stops, 10 ways. Which hands delivery a property that almost nothing else in retail has. The more of it you do, the cheaper each one gets. Now think about what that does to a competitor. If you're already the biggest, every new order makes your speed cheaper. If you're the challenger, every new order makes your speed more expensive because you don't have the density yet. The leader's advantage doesn't just hold, it widens on its own every single day, whether anyone's paying attention or not. That's not a feature, that's a moat that digs itself. And there are exactly 2 ways to build one. Amazon's way is to conjure the network out of nothing. Over $4 billion, just to triple the size of its rural operation, pushing same day and next day into more than 4,000 small towns across 44 states. And the clever part isn't new warehouses. It's converting ordinary delivery stations into hybrid sites that hold inventory right there on the floor. Meaning your order isn't flying in from 3 states away, it was already in your county. It was sitting there before you clicked. Walmart went the opposite direction entirely. Walmart didn't build anything. Walmart already had it. 10,900 stores and clubs, standing, paid off. And for 2 decades, that footprint was treated like an anchor, heavy, expensive, obsolete in a world going online. Then somebody looked at it again and realized something. Those aren't stores. Those are 10,900 warehouses that customers happen to walk into. And the numbers since then are hard to argue with. Store-fulfilled delivery sales in the US more than doubled in 2 years. More than 1/3 of those orders now land in under 3 hours. Roughly 60% of American households are reachable in 30 minutes or less. And then the part investors actually cared about. Walmart's e-commerce business, which had lost money for essentially its entire existence, started turning a profit. partly that density math, and partly because, very quietly, nearly a third of those deliveries now carry an express fee. People pay extra for speed. So the weapon isn't just cheaper to fire, it makes money when you fire it. Same weapon, two completely different guns. One built from scratch, one hiding in plain sight for 50 years. Which raises the obvious question. If it's that good, why isn't everyone doing it? They did. Almost all of them are dead. Between 2020 and 2023, billions poured into startups promising 10-minute, 15-minute delivery in American cities. Fridge No More, Bike, GoPuff at its peak. The pitch was intoxicating. A convenience store, on your phone, faster than you could get your shoes on. By 2022, Fridge No More was gone. Bike was gone. GoPuff had shuttered dozens of warehouses and cut around 1,500 jobs. Across the sector, more than 40 companies folded. The reason is almost cruel in how simple it is. Ultra-fast delivery only works where people are stacked on top of each other, where distances are short, and where the local shopping options are bad. That describes parts of Mumbai. It describes Shanghai. It does not describe suburban America, where the houses are spread out, the driveways are long, and there's a fully stocked supermarket 4 minutes away by car. They were selling a cure for a disease Americans mostly didn't have, and paying full price for the network on every single order. So when Amazon rolls out 30-minute delivery and Sam's Club starts hitting some orders in 15, they are marching straight into the business that buried an entire generation of startups. The difference is, they're not buying a network. They already own one. They're just using capacity they'd paid for anyway. Products. They own the minutes. And at the other end of the market, something even quieter happened. Delivery stopped being an operations problem and became a marketing asset, literally a placement you can win or lose. Shopify runs a badge called Shop Promise. It sits next to a product with a guaranteed date attached, and you can't buy it, you earn it. It's reserved for roughly the top 1% of shippers on the entire platform. Think about what that means. On the largest independent e-commerce platform in the world, how fast and how reliable you ship now decides how your product looks to a stranger who has never heard of your brand. Delivery has become shelf position. For 100 years, the real war in retail was fought over eye-level space in a physical store. Brands paying fortunes for 18 inches at the right height. That war never ended. It moved. It's now a single line of text under a photograph that says, "Arrives tomorrow." And it does exactly what the shelf always did. It decides what you even consider. So where does this end? Here's what nobody says out loud. The race to compress time is running out of road. 5 days to 2, 2 to 1, 1 to same day to 3 hours. Every step is smaller, every step costs more, and shoppers reward every one of them less. For almost everything you buy, the difference between 30 minutes and 15 is nothing at all. So the weapon has to change shape, and it already is. The next war isn't speed, it's certainty. Not how fast can you get it here, but can you name the exact day, hold that promise, and not ambush me with a fee at checkout that makes me close the tab? That sounds smaller. It's harder. Speed you can buy. Put more vans on the road. Certainty you have to earn. With a network that knows where its inventory sits, what the weather's doing, how full the truck is, and what it can actually honor tomorrow morning. You can't fake that in a quarter. You can't buy it with capital. So the delivery war ends the way these wars usually end. Not with somebody winning the stopwatch, but with a handful of companies who spent $100 billion slowly discovering what they'd actually been building the whole time. Trust. Expensive, industrial, load-bearing trust. And everybody else, renting it from them. So the next time you're on a product page and you see that little line of text, arrives tomorrow, look at it properly. That is not a shipping option. That is the finish line of a 20-year war, fought with warehouses and vans and billions of dollars, over a decision you make in about a second and a half. And whoever owns that second and a half owns everything.